Back in the garage then, and today I thought I'd take on one of the preventative maintenance jobs that I do every year on the TR6. One of the things that can be quite annoying in old car ownership, and the TR6 is particularly prone to it, is squealing brakes. You know the feeling when you're driving along, you're driving around town, and every time you touch the brakes, that horrible screeching sound comes out and everybody stops as they walk along the pavement and stares at you. Well, the good news is there is a little bit of science behind it, and there are some things you can do about it. So in this video I aim to touch on my learning and what I do every year in order to avoid squealing brakes. First thing we need to do then is get this wheel off. So the TR6 typically sports Girling P16 calipers. What that means is it's a 2-piston caliper, one either side of the disc. We've got the brake fluid pipe coming in at the top. There's a channel that goes through the caliper to each side of the piston, and then the bleed nipple is on the top as well. It's a solid disc setup. The TR6 doesn't run vented discs. And to be honest, if the brake system is set up well, you don't really need a vented disc, maybe unless you're doing motorsport or track day type applications. Caliper then, a really nice simple design. And if we have a look, it makes it really easy through this 2-pin arrangement here to simply remove the pins by removing the little pin that we have going through the main pin here, and then the 2 brake pads can be simply slid out of the back. So first thing I normally do each year is simply take the pads out and look at the general condition. So to get rid of brake squeal, the first thing you need to understand is what are the causes of it. And in 9 times out of 10, the cause of brake squeal on a car is vibration. Vibration between the pad, the disc and the caliper, which then manifests itself through the car and comes out as energy in the terms of noise. The question then is, how do you get rid of the vibration? Well, you can do the obvious stuff. So first and foremost, you need to make sure your caliper is tightened up nice and tight. It's not loose in any way. You need good tight pistons. So if there's any corrosion, rust, or they're sticking in any way, that could be a potential cause of the vibration. And also you need to think about the disc. Is that worn in any way badly? Are there any marks on it that might be causing vibration? And the wheel bearing itself, is that nice and tight so there's no potential vibration within the brake disc? So that's the obvious stuff, but the root cause on a TR6 is generally something else. So what does that leave? Well, there's actually 4 things you can do to help prevent the brake squealing on a TR6. The first then is the pads themselves. The temptation with classic car ownership is to buy cheap and cheerful, and indeed a lot of suppliers do provide aftermarket copies of a lot of things all over the car, but brake pads is one area where it pays not necessarily to cut costs. So a characteristic of some cheaper pads and also some of the more expensive pads is a higher metal content in the pad. And typically for day-to-day classic driving, where we're often cruising around, driving slowly through towns rather than more spirited driving, the risk is that the higher metal content in the pad can glaze over quite quickly. As a result of that glazing over on the pad, what that can cause is the vibration as the pad material hits the disc, and hence the squeal. So when selecting pads, typically avoid the high metal content, very cheap aftermarket copies. Avoid necessarily the motorsport orientated pads, which typically on road driving you're never going to get up to a temperature, so risk glazing over quite quickly. Go for something in the middle. Not too hot, not too cold, just right. One thing about older classic cars is they don't benefit from all the modern anti-squeal technology that you get in newer cars. So one of the things that newer cars have is a change pad design. Typically you'll find a chamfer on the leading and lagging edges on a pad. TR6 pads typically have this sharp edge on the front, and that can potentially be a source of vibration. So as part of my annual checks, one of the things I'm going to do here is just take a power file and just take the edge off these pads here. So we've covered pad selection, putting a little chamfer on the edge. Probably the number one upgrade that people go for first on particularly Triumph TR6 brakes is the anti-squeal shims. And you can buy these from all the usual retailers, but there's different types available. So there are some that cover the entire pad. It's a thin shim of material with the two holes for the pins. My experience of those over 5 years is they don't work. The type I found that do work, and I would highly recommend, are these type. And these have a cutout, still have got the two holes for the pins. They are directional. And the logic of this is that what it does is it forces the front edge, the leading edge of the brake pad out onto the brake disc, and therefore stops the vibration by having more contact offset with the brake piston. Having the front edge of the brake pad loaded up against the disc actually stops it from vibrating, therefore less squeal. So shims are good, but before you rush to put the pads back in the car, probably I believe one of the biggest reasons for the vibration and hence the squeal is simple cleaning. Yeah, so the dust that builds up in and around the pads, all around the pistons, all around the anti-squeal shims, this potentially is a source of vibration. So what I do with my car, get the airline, blow out the caliper, make sure it's as clean as possible, clean the pads, get rid of any grease or dirt that's built up, and then lightly put a very smooth sliver of copper grease on the back before the anti-squeal shim, and then we're ready to put them back in the car. A key point to note here is if you are using an airline, you are blowing brake dust everywhere, so make sure you wear a mask. All clean, and then a very slim slither of copper grease on the back of the brake disc in between the anti-squeal shim. One other thing you can do is file a small thin channel down the brake pad here. You'll see that on a lot of modern brakes, and one of the things it can do is help dissipate heat, but also it can be a place where dirt is captured and helps the removal of the brake dust. You can see the TR6 pad is quite a big flat pad, so as a result brake dust can accumulate there and then be a source of vibration. Reassembly then, the opposite of disassembly. So we can reassemble our pads together with shim, making sure we follow the arrow on the anti-squeal shim. So don't be tempted to file down either the pads or the pins in order to get them through. A fairly good fit between the pad and the caliper can help to reduce that vibration and hence the squeal as well. The more movement the pad has got, the more likely it's got the opportunity to squeal. Pins in then. Don't forget the split pin. With the pads back in, and get the wheel on. So let's summarise. So check for any wear in your wheel bearings, your disc, your brake caliper. Make sure your pistons are in good condition. Select some good pads. Don't necessarily go for the cheapest aftermarket ones you can find. Potentially, if you've got glazing, feel for sand over the disc. Take the chamfers off the edges. Use some good anti-squeal shims with some light copper grease on the back in order to avoid an unnecessary vibration. And then before you reassemble it all, make sure the whole system is clean, free of rust and dirt. So that's this year's brake check done. Looking forward to another year of squeal-free driving. Again, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, thanks for all your comments. See you on the next TR6 video.